head, slowing down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those windshield.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. My ears are cold, and then I'll take this off. I just came in from outside, and I was, as we call it backstage, I was pulling a Kim.
Really?
Yeah. Because, let me explain. It's not a
don't knock the person
thing.
who works all the way up until the last minute.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. I've been doing it the last couple of weeks too, but I was pulling a Kim. That means working right up until this show starts. Like Kim runs inside the house, hits go, and she's, and we're on, and she's coming right off the road. I myself usually get up a couple hours earlier, and then I can be done by a couple hours before this. So, but nowadays in the winter, these get pushed back, and so here I am on a different schedule, and I'm pulling a Kim. So, what's up, Tom? What's up, Kim? We don't know where our other two are MIA. Michelle was on the podcast this week, and we had a great podcast interview. So, yeah, for anybody who missed it, go check it out. We're going to talk about some of it again tonight because we shed a light on a lot of things. And the podcast episode was kind of, I can't remember the exact title, but the theme was Doordash in 2025. And of course, we don't have a playbook, but between her, the groups, all these things, we just put a lot together. I have been fed some information as of recent, and you guys know that there's a whistleblower involved. I love it. Actually telling me a lot more than I thought too, so I'm pretty stoked. And it's not a driver whistleblower. We got a lot of those. We actually have an employee whistleblower who, the more I talk to the person, I know they don't want to. I know they don't want to get caught in anything, and what they're doing isn't. They're being very careful about how they're doing it. But if caught, they could be fired. I feel like I can say this, but I'm sure there's some other details to it. I don't think anymore this person cares if they get caught or fired. As long as they don't get caught doing something illegal that would get them in trouble, I think they're at that point where if they were to get caught handing off information they're not supposed to, they'd just be like, yeah, I'm just trying to tell people how much you scam and crap on people. So I guess that what I would say to that is, out of all their employees, does everybody think that's the only one?
No.
I mean, are this many, are this many ready to do that same thing?
That'd be like saying there's only like one driver who's willing to.
Right, but I'm saying like now I feel like, like maybe people are going to start doing this more. Maybe people are going to start coming out. These NDAs aren't holding up. And once old employees saw that, and Uber, or just so you know, Uber and DoorDash, they do the same thing with their employees as they do with us. They like if they have a position that pays $70,000 and that person leaves, they will find a way to make that position $50,000 to the next person that comes in. So as they're lowering the person's pay, of course that person's more likely to go, you know what, I'm going to blow the whistle on this crap. So, is he me? Are you talking about he, me? Me?
No, I think he's talking about the person you're talking about.
Oh, yes, but not in the, yeah. Hi, what up, UDM? Not in the terms of dashing. Yes, he's an employee at DoorDash, and not a Austin or a what's the other town in California?
Sacramento?
That's doing the hourly. No, that's doing the employee thing. It's gonna drive me nuts. It's Austin, and where they're doing the outsourcing of hiring for per hour.
Oh yeah,
Santa Fe.
That's what. No,
it's
it was.
Oh man,
it's got the same name as a Houston town near me. I can't think of it.
I don't know. Probably because I'm pulling a Kim and running right inside. So I'm gonna say hi to the chat while we can.
Are we gonna like coin that phrase? We're pulling a Kim.
Yeah. Let's all pull a Kim. What it means is don't be late. Don't be late, but you're not going to show up 5 minutes early either, because you're going to get there just a minute before.
Yeah, I show up literally a minute before. Okay, I'm here. Let's go.
Okay. Hi, Miko. Hi, I on the loose. Hey, traveler. Hey, Lynn. Lynn is our friend over on Twitter too, and she's they've been talking about a lot of things over there that kind of coincide with what we're talking about over here. Some of which we'll get to tonight with the DoorDash placement. But if you guys don't know, Lynn, if you want to, I'll try and drop a link later if it is even a link. But if you want to put your Twitter handle in, you guys can find Lynn on Mondays does a live Twitter just on Twitter. When you do that, it's not like through StreamYard to Twitter, but it's is it Spaces? I think it's Spaces, like Twitter Spaces, and like Sergio's in there sometimes. It's all voice, but there's a conversation and people can just join in from Twitter. So there's always a nice conversation going over there on Mondays too. What up, Gigan? What up, Bud Soda? What up, UDM? Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Hey, Christopher Taylor. How are you doing? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that so much. Gotta keep people turned on. What up, TN? What's up, Thomas Mathis? And what? There we go. Yeah.
Thank you, Christopher.
Chris. Yeah.
Much appreciated.
And so what's up, Carnifage? And so Carnifage too, before we even jump into this, he had something strange happen to him that I've never even seen. It was a curry thing. He's in Vegas. He saw Best Buy on a curry. Now he's been doing curry a couple of years. He doesn't see like the volume I see, but he's done enough where he gets it. And I can say I've honestly never even seen one. So you never know what might be going on with curry. But I found that, I guess if you're not on curry, you don't see the interesting part of that, but it is very interesting to me.
As far as I know, Best Buy was only going through Shipt for that type of thing.
Now it's just, well, I don't even know if they do Shipt anymore. They're all over.
I haven't
Roadie.
been on Shipt in.
They're all over Rodeo. Like on Rodie's the one where every day I can touch all the different Best Buys, and not only will it have one offer, it'll have like 3, and they're all like 10 to 15 deliveries. And it is actually, Bud Soda will know this too. They are the worst paying gigs on Rodeo. They beat every other one. They pay horribly. They usually ask for 10 to 15 deliveries. You're going to drive 70 to 90 miles. It's going to take 4 to 5 hours, and it estimates all this. And at most, you'll be paid $60. So maybe at best, at 4 hours, maybe $15 an hour, plus driving 90 miles, plus doing 15 deliveries. So all your expenses, it's just trash.
Yeah, Christopher to know. He hasn't seen Best Buy on Shipt recently.
Yeah. I guess it's been even longer since I've been off Shipt than you, Kim, because I thought, why am I just remembering Shipt as just Target?
No, it was Shipt. It was Best Buy. It was Lidl by me. I don't know whether you guys have a Lidl.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a German grocery store type of thing. And I can't remember, but
they never got to the grocery stores or the Kroger's or the.
For me, they had a grocery store by me as well. They had 2 grocery stores by me.
Wait, so here this. I've been making a ton on Best Buy Roadie every afternoon this week. Wow, okay.
I think we lost Tom.
$2 a mile. Wow. Okay. So $2 a mile for the ones I see, they're always 70 to 90 miles in a ton, and they never pay $70. So there's no way. I mean, most of them are 70 miles at least in the Denver city limits, and you're going to do, let's say it's 10 to 12 deliveries. Who cares? But you're going to do 70 plus miles, and I've never seen over a $60 pay. And you're talking about $2. So in your market, that would be 140. In mine, it's 55 or 60. So here, a 10 stop went to $80 for Best Buy today. Saw a $100 Walmart as well. Couldn't get either. Okay. A 10 stop for $80 though, going what, 10 miles or going 85 miles? Hi, Shane. Can't hear. You're muted.
Hi.
This is what happens when We missed last week. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Awesome.
It was a regular day for me.
Well,
Well,
it wasn't your Thanksgiving.
It wasn't even Thanksgiving.
Exactly. But it was fun to be on all the lives that we did. That was
Yeah,
cool.
but so like on your Thanksgiving though, it was a regular day for me.
Yes, it was.
So, I'm trying to see what other people are putting up here because this is interesting about these roadies. I know Miko started the roadies. Let's see. Yeah, that's how. Again, Thomas, it's been a while since I've been on it. I mean, I took myself off it, and then whenever what was it, last summer, the summer before, just this last one, when they had everybody was knocked off a ship and you had to call to get back on, I never did.
Oh.
So
I turned it on 2 months ago, and it was still I was still good, but it's a very rare occasion that I actually work ship.
Okay, so ship does so according to Amanda too, so a ship does everything. I mean, if it's doing Kroger, if it's doing, and like Kim was saying, a specialty store, I guess. What is shipped BB? Delivery. Bed and breakfast? I have no idea what that is. And so, Eric, here's what I'll say. Here's how I remember Shipped when I was liking it was that Shipped was always paid better than Instacart in my market, always. But people tipped better. You could have preferred customers. There were just some perks that made it feel better. And it was a lot easier to shop in a Target.
It's not
Oh.
bed and breakfast.
Okay. But I can see where you compare those two, sure. And I don't know where Shipped is now. I know that probably the one of us in here that does it as their primary is Christopher Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's his primary one. So yeah, he's saying about 9:30 and no one taking them. So then why are you taking them, dude? They suck. How are they going up? Because if you're seeing what I'm seeing, and with Roadie, one thing that's cool is you can zoom into every market and then see everything that's there. So it's pretty cool. But if you're seeing the same things I'm seeing, you wouldn't be taking them because they're not $2 a mile. But I have been a little bit defending Roadie lately because on the weekends, Roadie does a little something for me. There's flower delivery, there's prescriptions. Those are short runs. They pay well. So I do look. So yeah, here, Eric is I saw a Best Buy on Roadie today, 10 stops, $33 for 93 miles. That's the kind of stuff I see.
Ouch.
And then also Roadie has an estimated time that's pretty close. So that's probably going to read like 3.5 or 4 hours. So you're going to make, for 4 hours, you're going to make what, $8 an hour before expenses? $8.25 an hour before expenses. Yeah, no thanks. What is Alta? Alta is going big time lately. What is this?
You don't know what Ulta is? The beauty store?
Oh God, we talked about this once. No, I don't know anything. Look at Cheyenne's even laughing, dude. No, we're not doing this again.
Because
You guys
I know
picked
what
on
it
me.
is.
I don't
And
know
when she
anything.
said it, I was like, he does not know what that is.
Maybe you were here, Kim. Though I mean, we went through this whole thing. You
I
guys
know,
tested
and
me on a
it's
lot of just what I should know, even I don't.
It like boggles my. I feel like Ulta is like a very popular store. Even if you're not a woman, you know what Ulta is.
I know.
My eyes just are trained to not look at that stuff. Like, oh, that's a place I wouldn't go. I don't care what it's called. Tom, are you familiar with it? Don't just say yes either.
No.
Yeah. See, maybe it's a guy thing. Why would I know what Ulta is? What is in Ulta? If it's not from doing these apps, what's in Ulta that I would buy?
Do you use skincare?
Nope.
Shampoo, conditioner.
Yeah, but
He's like, I gotta have Walmart.
okay, so yeah, I don't know what that stuff is, you guys. Sorry. I'm trying to see who else had anything to say up here.
Well, I will not turn down an Ulta gift card from anybody for Christmas. I'm just saying.
I mean, compare it to an older store, I might know. Oh, I probably won't know those either, but
Do you know a Sephora?
I know the name. I've never been in one.
What about a Sally's Beauty?
I know what Ulta is, but don't tell Steve I know.
I was shocked when you said no, because I'm like, Tom
I don't
knows
know what any
everything.
of those are.
I'm like, Tom, you know like everything. How do you not know what Ulta is?
Steve told me not to say yes.
Seriously.
Wait, Shipt has added delivery only routes from Target. Oh, weird. So
Oh,
blocks,
so Instacart.
you saying like blocks and payments. Yeah, Pittsburgh's good for last mile. Yeah, it should be. It's a steel town, brother. Trying to get past all this Alta crap. No, I don't know what Alta is. I'm just an Alta rep.
So you've never even gotten a shopping order on Ulta for like DoorDash? Or you're just all like, nope, decline.
I do enough. I mean, I should see it, right? Kim sees the offers I see. I sit in a grocery store parking lot when I do Instacart, so I'm not around beauty stores. I don't know. I have no reason to be in those. And I'm going to go this weekend. I'm going to go to all of them and go inside so I can say I've been into all of them now. I get it.
Wait, but Soda up there said that Sephora has good retail at 924. Sephora has good retail pickups along with Macy's and Nordstrom's in the Nova Market. And obviously, shout out to Nova Hustles. Last year, I remember the Macy's orders weren't as good as the year before that. Are they better this year, Soda? I haven't seen his videos recently. But I remember like Macy's had like a decline on DoorDash.
Wait, so you're saying that Sephora is like Macy's and Nordstrom. So is that what the other thing Ulta's like?
No, Sephora is not like Macy's or Nordstrom. Sephora is
like now.
just like makeup, skincare stuff.
I actually know what it is. I've been there a lot.
Right.
Sure.
Anyway, hey, Alan, how are you? Okay, so these are some things Michelle and I went through. Maybe she just didn't join because we were going to do an hour. We did an hour and a half podcast on Monday, and we still had stuff to go. I guess one of the things we never even touched on was that, did you see, Cheyenne, that Walmart Canada partnered with DoorDash?
To do what?
Deliver mattresses and stuff.
Because I'm confused. Walmart?
Yeah.
God, I hope it's not like it was when DoorDash
Here,
had
I'll put the
Walmart
link into the I'll just put it in the chat for everybody.
Does
so.
anybody remember when Walmart was on DoorDash? Oh my God, it was like you couldn't even get like 10 miles away from a Walmart without your phone blowing up Walmart.
Because
Walmart,
that's the thing.
Walmart.
I've had Walmart on DoorDash before. That's why I'm very confused why. Like I know they had stopped.
Yeah.
There.
Because I think it switched.
What was it, like 3 years?
or something?
You're on DoorDash, and then they swapped over to Ubereats instead of DoorDash. They lost their contract, but the offers weren't
good at all.
No.
I remember I had one like when I first started, and I was like, "This is horrible. Why did I do this?"
So the FTC has a new investigation about the subscription cancellation policies with Uber now. There's more states about to be sued, or states suing DoorDash and other platforms. I'm guessing Ubereats, because I think it's mostly in that space. But about same thing that just happened in Illinois. In fact, another lawsuit's coming from Illinois. What I had called 5 to 10, I was just told could be 25 plus by January. Like lawsuits the size of the $20 million one that they just handed over the money in Illinois.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, I mean, what'll surprise me is if it's not every state. Because once the other state, it's going to be like it's going to be a rolling problem.
Give me my money.
Like, no, but once the states find out, wait, what happened? They're going to go, well, how'd that not happen in our state? And they're going to go, let's check.
Well,
They just haven't checked.
That's what I said in my video. If it's not just happened in Illinois, it happened everywhere.
Right. But I mean, like, will some states spend the resources to look into it? Some won't. Some won't even deal
If they
with
want
that.
money, they will. To me, it's an easy win for any state who files.
Yeah. I know that Kagan's in here, and the new Uber, the new Minneapolis rideshare law went into effect. What I'm most curious about this is if any of the three that we're going to start up have been anywhat successful, or even, I mean, we're 5 days into it. Have they already failed? Because it took like 10 days for one of the Austin ones to go under after Uber and Lyft left. Now that was a different scenario, but I'm just wondering, all these companies that went there and thought, I'm going to rage this because they're letting us and they have these new standards. We've just never seen that work. So I'm just wondering if any have folded. Did all three open? Did none of the three open yet? Because that would be, if they're like, yeah, we're just getting operations ready, that would be a telltale sign to me they're not getting operations ready and they know they can't compete. I always had a theory a little bit that part of the three companies come and move from Africa, and does a couple others, and some of these other ones coming there was more of a favor to the city to make it look like they had some clout and some weight to hold against Uber and Lyft. But we'll see. I don't know how you land passengers if you're moved from Africa. I mean, I get it. Some people might, but I just don't think people are going to jump ship. But we'll see. And then, remember when, now we're going to go back to it. Remember when we talked about Austin was at $13 an hour. And then the California one was at 16 an hour for the company hiring out there. The two cities that we're going to do a percentage of the DoorDash rides. Those two numbers are the two numbers that their Dash Now feature offered in both cities. So the California one was 16, which is California minimum wage. Prop 22 gives you 120% of minimum wage for active time, but they're actually going to pull you back to minimum wage. So you're not going to make that extra money, but you're going to have a schedule. You're going to have to do all this. You just make it. It's your car. You got to take everything. Same thing in Austin, but the $13 an hour, every time I went to Austin to work with Para last year, every time I turned on DoorDash, and often it was available too. In my market, earned by time is not available. I would not use it anyway, but it's not available. And every time I would go there, like half the time I'd turn on DoorDash, it would be available. Dash Now and Earn by Time. Slide it over, it would be $13 an hour. That's what the company down there is paying, $13 an hour. Now in Amsterdam and soon to be other countries, this happened this week. Amsterdam and they where is it? So yeah, here we go. Because I think it's more than it too. Oh, that was the wrong one. Anyway, they are moving to employee only drivers December 1st. This is not being put off. All the drivers who are on the app will now no longer be on the app on the 1st, and they will have to go apply for a job with these companies like that Austin and California City has that they're doing part percentage with. All of them will go need to apply. There's no crossover. There's no language being sent from Uber or anybody or DoorDash or whatever they have over there, not DoorDash, but no information is being sent from that company to the hiring entity because they have to remain separate. So you won't even be able to go, well, I'm active, so just transfer me over. No, you have to go apply for that job. So now, like, I just want to point that out because they were doing this same thing over there. It wasn't an earn by time, but they were testing out, what about if we just pay you this and give you some benefits? You like that? And they were doing that with a percentage of people. Now the whole country's doing it. So, and there's other countries about to follow over there in Europe. No, countries are very small in Europe, sometimes smaller than the states we live in. But they're doing this, and others are looking into it, and it's crazy because, I mean, this is kind of the map of what they're doing here. It's almost like the fail-safe. If everything else goes wrong, then we could go to this model. I think the reason is, and maybe Tom or Cheyenne or Kim, what you want to weigh in on this, because I think the reason is they're getting to a difficult stage now with like Virginia Fox and the oversight committee and people that are already getting in place before a new administration, before the new year, and asking really the questions we would ask, like real questions. And they haven't had real questions from senators ever. And now they're saying, no, this. It's almost like Kim and I were in a room and wrote them out for it. And Virginia Fox is 60 plus years old reading it. Like exactly what we would say. So they've gotten very aware of what's going on. They're very aware of all the different things. And so I remember I've always thought that, like, why does DoorDash keep pushing this limit? And I think it's because they're rolling the dice on if things go back or can somehow get sorted out so everybody can remain an independent contractor. But if not, is it just going to be like over there? Are they just going to flip the switch and go, you know what? This company here, Fresno Logistics, that's what it was, Fresno, California, Fresno Logistics. What about when they try Fresno Logistics to do 100% of Fresno? Do you follow? Like, what about when they say no more app work? You gotta go to Fresno Logistics and apply for a job.
But why wouldn't you just go to the next town over and just work DoorDash as normal? Like, to me, that's just stupid.
Well, I mean, maybe they won't let you. I don't know.
How can they prevent you from going over to next town if it's available in the next town over, but not in Fresno? I would just go to the next town over.
Well, okay, in the Netherlands, they're deactivating everybody's account. What if they deactivate everybody in Fresno and go to the logistics?
Is it just DoorDash or is it Ubereats too?
That's just DoorDash for right now, but that's because they're under the biggest gun and microscope.
I was like, see you later, DoorDash. Nice knowing you. I'm going to go work my other 16 apps that I have.
Exactly. But I also, here's the thing, and people aren't going to want to hear this, but I can see why they would do this because we're not getting $100 tips anymore like the start of the pandemic. They're not raging money and throwing hidden tips, and a hidden tip is like 50 cents now. Like, oh, I got $8.25. Oh, but it paid $8.75. I got a hidden tip. No, you didn't. You got a 50 cents thrown at your face. Like, that's not a hidden tip.
I can't say that. I still get hidden tips all the time. Not just 50 cents.
You mean you get good ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, but not anywhere near what was.
No, not what it was. It's just adapting to DoorDash and what they're doing right now. But no, right, I still see hidden tips.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't think I guess here's what I'm saying. With all of the things that I've been talking about with lawmakers, people in the know with that, about what all the things going on, I finally see the fail-safe. And the fail-safe might just be, we're going to have this external company. And I wish I had Mike Harubi, unless Tom knows it, to here right now to tell me, because I forget. They're actually called something when this happens. Because he was taking it back to the 1960s that this kind of thing happened. It was like a workaround for employees, but of places that didn't want to just use freelance. But this is a forced one. And if they were just to say, you know what, the 25% that we gave you, that's working out really well. Let's just give them all of it. Because then the whole nightmare of like dealing with the drivers is out of their hands. And everybody would just be, I'm not saying it's good. I wouldn't do it. Kim wouldn't do it. I don't think Cheyenne would do it. I know Tom wouldn't do it.
Are you wearing your hat on purpose right now?
Oh, I was. Is that better? I was when I came in because it's cold. Um, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. There's part of me that wants to see DoorDash crash. I know, and none of you guys want to hear that, but there is. There's a part of me that wants to see them just get so slapped to the ground because what they're doing is ridiculous. I mean, I talk to people here too, and I mean, Kim knows how to make it work in her market, but the people the Kims in my market who are as resilient as Kim always did the climb at the end of the month, always stayed at Top Dasher, hit platinum, did tiers, all that stuff. The ones who swore up and down by it, I'd say almost literally every one of them that I've talked to now is like, dude, I'm a bottom dasher like you. I don't care anymore. There's nothing up there for me. It's not worth it. And I know that for some people it might be, but I'm just saying that most of the people I talk to, not just in this market, but even others, most of the people I talk to are finally, even the people who used to be that way, are finally to the point of, nope, it's not worth it. I mean, it's not worth deleting your account. I'm still on it. I'm just a bottom dasher.
I can't say the same thing. Like to me, as I always say, I don't agree with their business practices. I don't agree with what they stand for, but I'm still making like 1,000 or more a week on DoorDash. So I can't say that it's not making me money because it is. I just don't agree with their business practices and what they stand for.
Yeah. Right. I mean, well, what are their business practices? I'm curious what their business practices are. Is there a book? Can you read? I want to read the ethics portion. That's all I want. Just rip me out the ethics portion. I want to read their ethics training. Like before you get on the phone with anybody, before you have your first day, you need to read our ethics policy. Really? You have? I'd be like, really? You have one?
Yeah.
That's what I would say the first day.
I'm going to say this is I know there's still a lot of drivers out there that rely solely just on DoorDash. And when you hear things like employee models and stuff like that that's going on, if you haven't started working other apps or at least have a backup plan, like to me, it's all about multiple streams of income. And even though DoorDash is a really reliable app for me as far as my money concerned, if it goes away tomorrow, like I still know how to make the same amount of money with different apps in my own area. So have backup plans, have other apps, have other streams of income. Do what you need to do to not rely just on one app.
Absolutely. I mean, I counted it out the other day on a live I did, and I'm on two of them. I think I could get right back on. I think I get right back on Grubhub and Ship because they just offboarded me when they had the nationwide what they called offboarding surge. Oops, we got hacked and everybody's off the platform. But if you call, you get back on. I didn't do anything wrong. I hadn't even used the app, so I think I can get back on. But I have 22 apps that are active now. Like 13 of them are last mile. I use probably 3 of them mainly, but I'm able to turn on that many apps. At the end of every month, I have 7 or 8 that I use. And so, like Kim said, just be on them. I don't even know if like the ones that I don't use, it doesn't mean that one day that they don't get sold or bought or things change. Maybe they start doing a different type of B2B and they change their policy on payment to drivers. That's why I don't want to, at this point, I know some people are like, I'm sick of giving all my info out and guess what, guys? We're so all on the radar. Don't even worry about it anymore. Just onboard to everything. Literally. I think that all of us need to. And in fact, then share back what you got going in your market. Like, is this good in your market? Is this good? Like, let's see what you're coming up with. Because I mean, this is happening. Europe, I'm not saying that they're ahead of us with everything, but Europe does seem to be a trendsetter when it comes to like labor type stuff. So I always have thought that what happens over there kind of tries to trickle over here, and we'll see. I mean, once it becomes more country than just the Netherlands, we'll see. But that means literally an entire country of people who work. Just imagine this: an entire country of people who work like we do on apps on New Year's Eve can use those apps. On New Year's Day, all of the apps will be deleted. It won't be able to turn on. You'll have to go get a job with one or whatever. I mean, that's one way to really stick it to people and show that, yeah, your complaining didn't get you very far. So, because I don't know, I am definitely of the mindset that I wouldn't. I don't look, and I hope nobody takes that the wrong way. I wouldn't be an employee of any of these apps. I would go do. There's something better to do. If I can't multi-app and be all over the place and juggling my own schedule through the day, I wouldn't want to do this then. If I had to be on just one app, probably couldn't make it work. And if I had to be just on one, that's what happens is it would become hourly, and I definitely couldn't live on those hourly pays we were just talking about. That doesn't work. So, Tom, how's the rideshare game?
Really slow the last couple of days. It was crazy busy last week, crazy slow this week, and saw it posting in the Uber Lyft Houston drivers Facebook page earlier today that I'm not the only one who sees it that way. We're definitely much slower this week, and I'm not sure if we're slower. I'm not sure if it's like slower than it was 3 weeks ago, picking a random number of weeks. I just know last week was huge, and this week,
I call this first week of December even when I was in retail, the calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's everywhere. Like, it's always the week after Thanksgiving. You get that lull that people are they're saving their money to buy gifts, they're saving money for Christmas. And then all of a sudden they have, I call that, oh crap moment. I only have X amount of days to get this amount of done. And then it just explodes. So, and I feel like that's everywhere. I figure that's restaurants, that's rideshare, that's retail, that's kind of everywhere, just based off of the mindset that we go through during the holidays.
Yeah, it's been a little frustrating for me the last couple of days because, like everybody else, I'm looking for that extra buck right now for Christmas and those kinds of things, and it just feels like I'm pedaling really hard uphill this week, and I'm frustrated by it. But last week, I mean, it was like fishing in a koi pond. It was so great. I couldn't even keep up. And today, I don't feel like I felt like I did a lot of work today for. And today I picked up two guys at the Space Center, Houston, and they spoke very little English. They were pilots from Holland. And so their English was, I think if we were coming in for a landing, they'd be all right. But they couldn't remember which DoubleTree hotel they were staying at.
Oh, well, that could be a problem.
They just knew they were staying at DoubleTree by Hilton. So we went to the first one. No, that's not it. That's not it. And so they showed me their phone, but I couldn't read anything because it was all in Dutch, right? So I couldn't. I was like, I see the addresses here. I don't know what the rest of it says. And so then we went to another DoubleTree. That wasn't it. And then one of them remembered that they ate at a restaurant that was within walking distance of their hotel, and they knew how to get from that restaurant back to their hotel. So they sent me to that restaurant, and I dropped them off there. And hopefully they figured out their way back in. But I lost a couple of decent rides in the midst of all of that.
Couldn't you have just shown them Google Maps and said, "Is it this one?"
No, we did, but they all look the same. They're all looking and going, I don't know. So it was pretty funny.
Dutch people.
Just
kidding. Yes.
Those Dutch. So yeah, we were in deep Dutch today. Yeah, so that was kind of different. One that I hadn't ever come across before.
Yeah, I thought I saw something I wanted to bring up.
And then 2 rides later, I got offered a job to go to work for this tech company. And the guy's like really serious. He's going to call me back tomorrow. And but
Nice.
we got talking about my technical background, and he's like, he just started this company. I won't tell you about it yet in case this really happens. But yeah, he was like, I need you to come to work for me. I need somebody who's been around the block. I think he was trying to say an old guy to come in and help evaluate his talent and all this kind of stuff. So, okay.
Okay,
Hey, you never know what it's going to lead to.
Never know.
I mean, did you say, is it six figures? Are we going to be talking, or am I walking?
We were laughing about, before that, we were laughing about when doing contract negotiations that if you pick a number and the other person says yes right off the bat, you pick the wrong number. So so we're going to have an interesting discussion when it comes to that. But he knows, he ended up knowing what I was making 22 years ago. So he knows that I'm expensive.
I think that, like you just said, though, that it is bad to throw a number out. But I think if you're worth six figures, that's a good one. Because if you're worth six, you're not worth seven. You're not $1 million a year person. So you could say, is this a six-figure job? Because I'd need that to talk. And that's not giving away a number.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of digits in that
money.
six figure, though. That's a big range.
Right, but it doesn't let them lock
It's
you
open
into
to
it. You said
interpretation.
105,000.
Well, that's what we were laughing about is that 20 years ago, I had that option and I wimped out at the last second and said a little bit smaller number. And they said, oh, no, we'll take that. That's crap. I said the wrong number.
Has everybody on this panel and in the chat, has everybody ever had something that you were like, oh, and like really blowing your mind to think about taking a job or something where you're just like, oh, and you were really torn about it? You didn't, or you did, and you didn't go the other route, and you always wondered how that other route played out?
Big time.
Yeah.
Because I know I blew one. I know I did.
Kim?
I think we've all been there.
I mean, I'm not saying you did the wrong thing. It's not like you could go, damn, if I would have done that, I'd be there. You don't know, but
Now, I feel like I've always made the right choice for me. It's just I wish I would have asked. I think we've always been there, right? You should have asked for more. Like they settled on this, and you're like, darn it, I should have asked for this, like because that was way too easy. And you're like, oh, and like you're kicking yourself. So it might be that you got the right job and the job that you really wanted, and you're like, darn it, I should have asked for more.
Are we talking about?
no, we're not talking about this. But that is funny.
I accepted a job, and and I told my boss I had accepted this other job, and he really put it on me and talked me into staying. And in retrospect, that didn't work. It didn't work.
Chris, are you talking about for the states going with marijuana? Because Canada, I don't know about where Cheyenne is, but parts of Canada already do it. But yeah, they are going to be doing it.
I feel like Colorado would have been one of the first states to do it.
Yeah, our state, the decisions that were made in our state were not made by the leaders of our state now. Our leaders of our state now are morons. Morons.
Would you guys do those deliveries though?
Huh? Here you'd have to be licensed and stuff, and it's not like a joke. It's not like, hey, check this box. Okay, you're licensed. Like you actually have to go get
like
licensed. So to transport it or anything, you're gonna have to have legit lanyard. Like you're gonna have to be legit.
I would do it.
I would do it
as well.
Yeah.
I feel like it would almost be the same process as for scanning an ID, making sure they're legal age, blah, 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 blah. At least you don't have, I hate to say, someone drunk trying to be belligerent or, being rude, or I feel like it's a lot less risky.
I will say this. I would be like in my city right now. Hopefully things change here after the new year. But right now with what we have going on with newcomers and other things going on, I don't think I'd want to do it right now because I don't want people would start to figure out who are doing these and they might follow you. They already follow you to carjack you for food. So
what?
Yeah. Well, that's
Oh,
been going on for a while. We've been talking about that on here for a while.
Yeah.
Carjacking for food? I don't remember.
Yeah, because they
talking about
they wait for a car that leaves more than half the cars. By the way, we haven't said this in a while, so you guys make sure you turn your cars off, please.
Especially
that.
now
Oh,
that
you
it's
mean
cold.
that? Okay.
Yeah, because they take the fob with them and they go up to the
Yes.
door, but not many fobs are the type where if the car gets a certain distance, it goes off. If it's started, they'll get away.
I thought you were talking about like they're trying to take the food and the car and everything. I was like, wait, what?
Give me the food too, or else I don't want the no.
Yeah, I was so confused. But
No,
yeah,
I mean, remember
we
the
did
one?
talk
Remember
about
the
them
one with
taking
the
the car.
baby that we
Yeah,
saw?
when they had the baby in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that happened so many times.
And ran into the wall, and then decided just to ditch the plan and run.
So crazy. And especially now that, like, I know in our area, because it's cold now, like we had our first real snowfall and people would just leave their cars running because it's cold. You don't want to have to turn off your car, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it on. But don't do that. Don't just leave your car running.
No. And even when you're sure, don't do it. Like here, again, I'm going to use my city. Here, people, that's why I was pointing out, people are watching all the things that people are doing. Like it's crazy. Like people are watching everything that we're doing. And their scam is to get in on what we're doing, maybe not even illegal accounts and that. They have so many different things they're running. Some of it's to follow people and steal their cars or to do this, that, the other. I am going to move to I want to slam DoorDash once here on the
Just
on the
Just
merchant
once.
side, because this is a good one. It's from this week. I found this extremely interesting. So did Michelle when we talked Monday. So the Zeng family, owners of Walk House Jacks, which is Jacksonville, Florida, are speaking out after losing more than $60,000 when their DoorDash merchant account was hacked. They hope their story will help other small businesses avoid this problem. So many of the restaurants' orders come from delivery apps, which makes this financial blow particularly challenging. In July, we found out that DoorDash merchant portal was hacked, and the daughter speaks the best English of the family, Jennifer Zhang, and she said that, speaking on behalf of her parents who own the restaurant, Jennifer explained that the hackers altered their details, redirecting their earnings from March to summer of 2024. The family discovered the breach only after struggling to pay bills, despite receiving emails stating funds were being deposited. So then in parentheticals, it says, my dad was like, this is so hard to pay the workers or keep up on the inventory costs, and we don't have these profits coming into our bank account. So Jennifer also said at times to keep afloat, her father would take money out of his retirement account and borrow it to pay employees. The family contacted DoorDash about the situation. Jennifer said a few hours later, the family received an email from DoorDash. The email said, in part, after a thorough investigation by our team, we have determined that the appropriate reimbursement amount is $3,806.72.
What?
First of all, why? What the hell? 72 cents? What? Like, the whole amount's wrong, but where are you doing change? Like, they lost 70 grand. You're going to pay them $3,806.72. So
What is that, like
But
tax on it?
how did they lose it?
because their merchant account, which sits on the DoorDash platform, had been redirected to another bank. And so here, I mean, there's probably
Wait a
some
minute.
things that have them in the responsibility realm, but so is DoorDash. Do not let them off the hook just because their dispatch team was out smoking weed at the beach. Because
No,
I'm sorry, they don't do shit.
But I heard that there's also scams going on for merchants, just like there's drivers. Like
Yeah.
people are calling,
Absolutely.
pretending to be support, and then ask for your password and login, and then they get into, and that happens on the merchant.
Well,
end
it says
too.
they were
So-
suspect of a phishing scam, but I mean, even a phishing scam shouldn't. I mean, like they're checking with their bank, they're getting emails there. I mean, that's saying that the deposits are made. Like, why is nobody being honest with? Again, Why do we live in an untransparent world?
I'm sorry, Steve, but I got to disagree with you on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of do on this one too.
Yeah. I mean, these
You don't
people,
put them at fault at all. Then why'd they give them 3,800?
I thought that's a great question. I don't
Because
think
if it's what you're saying, and if it's straight up 100% their fault, they should have been paid zero.
right. So I'm good with
That's
them getting.
admitting some guilt there.
I don't. No, it's not. I mean, Anthony, I think they're being nice about it. It's if I'm sitting in the company, if I'm the guy who's running this app, it's not my job to police every single merchant out there to make sure they're not giving away their password to some idiot who's going to steal from them. It's not my job.
Well, where I disagree is there absolutely should be a contact made a day after that change is made, but verbally. No bots, no bullshit. These are not drivers. These are people who own restaurants and just lost 60 grand. They didn't lose a chicken nugget meal.
I understand, but they need to go after the people who stole it from them, which is possible to find that out because you can trace back with DoorDash's help, find out where is the money actually going. Go after the person who owns that account. Go after the bank that has that account because that bank shouldn't have let them set that up.
Does DoorDash have some type of like insurance for these type of stuff?
Obviously, $3,807.90.
Because like you know how insurance companies like cover.
I mean, I hear you. If it's just a scam and they fished into it and they played and they gave them their social security in the world. No. However, this person's like the one, Jennifer, the daughter. I mean, she's college grad. And I'm just imagining she knows not to go. Why do I need to re-enter all this? Like, let me call. If you own a business, you're taking in 60 grand into an account that sits on a DoorDash platform before it's pulled to your merchant. Why the hell wouldn't you call? Or why would you be putting everything in before checking and making sure you need to? Why? You already have it all.
Explain to me, Steve, how did they for months and months and months get emails saying from DoorDash saying we just put $8,000 or $800 in your account, and you go and you don't see $800 in your account? How long do you have to do that before you go, I think something might be wrong?
I don't know. I'm not down with the all. Look, with the drivers, it's one thing, but with the merchants, you have to have human support in the United States. I'm sorry.
I think a good company would split it 50-50. Like, I feel like that's fair, right? I feel like it's, okay, you lost. It's kind of your fault, right? Because you fell for a scam. However, we're still responsible for getting your earnings. So to me, a 50-50 split seems fair.
But don't they give back the earnings to the drivers that fall for scams?
Yes, and this too, Bud Soda. There never ever should be an like it's not like it's not like Cheyenne saying, I want to change my bank to this, deposit my money into this now. This is a merchant account. They should absolutely be banked B2B connected. Hey, we're moving. What the hell's going? Oh, that's owned by a company in Saudi Arabia.
That's
okay,
right.
well, we're not doing that then.
Well, but that's what the bank allowed them to do. So I'm saying go after the bank. Don't go after the DoorDash. They get the money. They put the money in the bank they were told to put it in.
Or they don't. Because as we know, they get caught stealing, and I'm not even joking. They get caught stealing all the time, and they're about to have 30 more lawsuits. They steal all the time.
But I feel like that's a separate issue.
I'm not going to disagree with that part. I'm just saying on this part, they have to take ownership. This company, this restaurant needs to take ownership that they let this thing happen for months. They could have, balance your checkbook. Balance your checkbook. You got it. You got an email that says they just put $318.47 in your account. You don't see it. Call your bank. Where is it? The bank says we don't have it. Call DoorDash, says, where did you put it? You could have finished this the very first time it happened.
Right. And Tom, you've run businesses, so have I. Look, if I had Heartland as my merchant, which was my favorite one, but I tried a couple others too for my credit card processing. When I switched, it was not just like, hey, no problem. Give me the new information. Done. No. There were professionals involved. There were, hey, we need to get signatures on this. Like it was not as easy as just run all my money over to there.
Well, and I don't know enough about DoorDash and their how they do it with the merchants and all that. if I do know about really good phishing and social manipulators like that who could have worked their way through anything like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like even these merchants deal with bots. They deal with robo answers. They deal with non-people. I think that look, we used to be able to call and get DoorDash agents that weren't out of country back in the day, like now, like with us, it's whatever. We'll get an agent too, but they shouldn't be getting a first level tier agent if they do need help. There should be a division for merchants because you're dealing with a much different situation. And they should be humans and they should be in the United States if it's a United States business.
You don't know that
Didn't they have that?
You don't know that they don't have that, Steve.
Well, I do know that they might have some people, but they don't have the departments that deal with it. Like look up in Seattle, everything's done through bots for the merchants. You have to put in requests if you need something. Like I guess I just don't get that. Everything about DoorDash, and again, here I am getting heated, is that everything about DoorDash is just we're just we're just a middleman that passes along money. No, you're not. You've played every angle with this. We're not employees. We're independent contractors. There's tiers. You're using AR. That's illegal. You're stealing in multiple states and getting caught everywhere. And you're not even going to court. You're just handing the money over in full and saying, sorry about that. I mean, that's why Kim said, yeah, we are going to probably see a lot more because you know what? They just keep stealing, destroying. They're wrecking their customers. They're wrecking their drivers. And again, nobody really cared about the drivers. There's other solutions to that. However, they're killing their customers now. They can't afford it. For a while, they haven't been giving a crap about their merchants. Ask a merchant up in Seattle how they feel about the companies. And it's not just because of city council.
Good question. Where was the email confirmation for the banking change? It's true. Because anytime we change banking information, we get an email, don't we? Like I did that once. How come the restaurant didn't get that?
It's been years since I've changed any banking information on DoorDash, but it used to be if you changed anything banking-wise, it would take 7 days in order for it would be like the next billing that you would you couldn't do instant cash out. You had to wait 7 days in order.
And they would mail you something too, physical mail.
Has that changed? I don't even know. Has that even changed?
Yeah, so I changed my banking info last year. I think it was last year, 2 years ago. And it was just in the app, but there wasn't a 7-day delay or anything like that. I put it but I don't do cash out automatically like that. So I don't know. Maybe there was a delay and I didn't know, but my next payment cycle, I got it.
So if anybody wants to call this, you guys know that I did a little thing with DoorDash on a live the other day or last week or something. I'll call it tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, call them and say you want
to. I'll play the whole game.
You want to change your number? See what they say.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm in the car right now. So I don't have everything in front of me, but tell me the process.
Good. Yeah, that'll work.
Tell me the process of changing my bank. And when they say it, if whatever I notice, because I'll notice, I'm sure. Here's how sure I am. I'm sure I will notice 3 to 5 things that are not right. Just give us the new routing number. No, that's not what it is, dumbass.
That's so funny. Christopher Taylor put that according to Google, they have 19,300 corporate employees. And Matt Dogg's like, what the hell do they do? That's a lot of employees.
I mean, it's a good question, right?
It is a very valid question.
I mean, what do they do? Look, if they had 19 employees, I'd say, what do they do?
They're all sitting around saying, how can we screw the driver tomorrow? That's what they're all doing.
But again, there was another comment made up here about something about the change in there too that we had mentioned. And I got to say, that does mean, I didn't do the actual, we should do it, the 3806.72 divided by 60,000 to get because I'm sure that they didn't just go, one guy was like 73 cents. The other guy's like, I think 71. And they're like, let's just meet at 72 cents. There's something that spit out that number. I mean,
Well, that's a percentage.
That's what the 19,000 employees are for.
what, to figure out what to do?
To figure out the percentage.
I don't know.
That's definitely
I
a
guess here's my
percentage.
thing, and here's why I got heated. Because also, guys, I hear what Tom's saying. I do agree. There's a big portion is going to be put on the merchant, but I think because DoorDash does nothing. I mean, an old taxi dispatch unit had a person that had to dispatch cabs. It does nothing. It's an algorithm. And the only thing they pay for are the AWS servers. And I guess 19,300 employees. But I question that number because really, I mean, they're in 6 countries. So it's not like I would question that many employees for Uber worldwide. I'm sure they have more, but to be honest, again, what are they doing? But like with this kind of stuff, this is, I mean, like they should be doing 100 times what they do, but this is something they should be all over.
Sorry. I can't.
This chat is amazing today.
That made me laugh.
I don't know.
Right
I don't know,
now.
Matt. I don't know, Matt Dog. I actually might put my money on the 3 stoners in a basement over the 19,300.
They use the 19,300 number for one of those COVID loan things.
Yeah, I
remember
don't
when
know.
that came out.
It's
Brandon
one thing
has
when
a
we
good
hear people
question
calling the scam of this, though, when they're like, "Hey, you know, this is DoorDash. We never call you, but we're going to scam you right now. So give me all your information. You're a driver. Okay, that's on you. I get it. That's just just don't make that mistake. But when it comes to merchants, everything I always did with on that merchant level was so followed up with and so professional that I can't see that a company that was way bigger than the bars I owned, way bigger, doesn't have something a mechanism in place that says, let's make sure this banking change is correct. I mean, they have 19,300 people to do it.
Yeah. Brandon has a good question at 10:07 where he's asking about the Ubereats tiers and schedules. I don't have that, so I can't comment on it. Do you guys have that?
Well, Michelle and I were talking about all this on Monday. It seemed it's definitely rolling out to certain markets. Like
It's not in mine yet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not in mine either. Nothing's changed in mine. But I've heard a couple things. I've heard that, so Michelle had heard this too, that there's some cities that are doing the scheduling blocks. So you have to schedule, and you have to have above 30% AR in those cities to schedule.
I think I'm
So
at
it's
like
not.
9.
Oh my gosh, I'm at 6.
I said to Michelle, I'm like, shit, I'm at 4. She's like, I'm at 1.
I think I'm at like
all of
9%.
us are. I was like, come on, guys. Like, this has been your thing. Like, you pay crappy, but you don't have AR, so we don't care.
Exactly.
Or we care, but we just don't take the
care.
offers because they suck. But like, so now you got to have. Here was my thing. So when it comes to my market, are they going to do one of those resets and pull me back up to 100? Because I would never be able to get on again.
Here's the thing with all these apps is they all bite off of each other. Like there's no app that is like original. Like if you really think about it, like right now with DoorDash, with their scheduling, the whole Dash Now, like it's now going to be like Grubhub. It's like almost identical to Grubhub. But now you have Uber who is trying to be like DoorDash and do a tier system. Like it's like they all bite off of each other to the point where it's like, what app am I working? Which like you juggle the apps, so like, which one should I work today? Because it just becomes all crap at one point.
Just turn them all on.
But so the other thing
I
that I do know rolled out to even more markets though, but still not everywhere, is them really embracing the cancellation rate. But I don't have an issue so much with. Like, I got to say that I think part of the problem that DoorDash got into, DoorDash specifically, back in the day, was when they allowed you to have 80 or 20% of every 100 dashes you could cancel. I'm going to be honest. I think that is the only thing I can side with on them. Like,
yeah, that was fair. That was high.
I can say this, and you guys might not agree, you might not like it, but to me, 95% completion rate should be acceptable. It's 90 now. It was 80. People complained when it went to 90. I think it should be 95. Don't take it if you don't want it. cancellation rate should be only for emergencies type stuff. You took an offer. It shouldn't be, oh, there's a better offer, I'm going to cancel it. Because you're affecting people's food. You're affecting them coming back. You're affecting another driver. This all affects our pay. So I don't know. I've never really been much for like when it was just make sure you complete or don't cancel 80% of the completion rate of your 100 orders. That's too high to be able to cancel one
But
out
if you
of every
think about
5.
it, they're all high then. Like Uber Eats, they didn't really have a set one. Now in some markets, it's 20%. I mean, Instacart, it's 20%. I can't remember what Grubhub is, but like they're all pretty high, except now for DoorDash.
But don't you agree that like, look, I mean, like give us something back, take away the AR or something.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Go ahead and move them all up to 95. If anybody in the chat has a good reason why no, please let us know, because I don't see why, because all 80%, all it does is allow you to 1 out of every 5 go, oh, there's a better offer, I'm done. Cancel, taking this. And they know that. So why not just move it up?
Years ago when these apps were booming and it was like order after order after order, and you could turn all 3 on and go, okay, bad, good. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take that one. But then you take that one, and then like seconds later, you get like something twice the amount. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to cancel. Like it was better multi-apping when more orders were coming in, and 20% was actually a good thing for multi-appers. The whole entire thing with DoorDash, at least I think, they're just shutting down multi-apping altogether. They're trying to almost make it impossible for Dashers to work other apps with all the little changes that they're doing here or there, and they're slipping them in under the radar. They're trying to stop multi-apping.
It's so true.
I mean, yeah. And then I'll put this article in here because I want you guys to know the article that I was telling you about the Netherlands and Amsterdam. This is it right here. And if you notice, look what site it's on. It's on Uber's website. This is not news. It's on Uber's website, and it says you can no longer independent contractor. So
wow,
that's on their official website. We will be stopping with this, and they're pretty harsh about the wording too. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, yeah, I get all the different perspectives. In the end, I can see Tom's point. I can see, like why weren't these people a little more on it? But these people have been operating with these companies for a long time. I hate to say that. Like why, like you said, why weren't you checking your email? Like maybe, like I know a lot of people who like set things up and then don't check their email.
But as a merchant,
but why would you not know $60,000 is missing? Like that's a lot of money. I think I would start questioning it after like 1,000, 2,000. Like, where's my money?
I mean, first of all, we don't know how long that takes them to make that much either.
True.
I mean, is it a little sandwich shop or is it something really popular in Jacksonville? Because I know from running a bar, like $60,000 in food sales, that's sometimes done in under a month, like during baseball season.
Just real quick, Christopher Taylor, as of December 31st, DoorDash has around 19,000, whatever. This is an increase from 16,800 employees from 2022. Hey guys, this is where our base pay got cut, and this is where it's going to.
And this is where this is the stolen tip fund too.
Yeah.
You know how everybody rips off of the Monopoly game and makes it like their city or whatever, like New Jersey Monopoly or this.
We tried to save on New Jersey.
I'm just saying, you know how everybody turns something into Monopoly, like their own cities or colleges or whatever.
Yes.
There needs to be a DoorDash Monopoly where you're just giving all your money away on every square. You lose, give money. Why? You just do. It's like who loses quickest? There's no way to make any money. You just lose. Okay. That said, if you're a merchant, don't do a phishing scam, for God's sake. If you set up, and also, who's your credit? Again, I have to say this. I've dealt with them before. they are the ones I've dealt with are so damn professional. Who is dealing with you should not have a merchant processor that is doing $60,000 worth of processing and didn't handle this properly. I mean, when you leave a merchant, they have to contact you. When you get a new one, they have to contact your new merchant and you. They have to get signatures. So, like, I don't know, like what kind of shifty, like, Florida swamp merchant place is this? Because a real one wouldn't do this. Obviously, I don't see the merchant's name in here. They don't want it in here.
Which, by the way, Monopoly, it's based off of New Jersey, just FYI. So.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Atlantic City.
Oh, that's just one spot, right?
New
Where's
Jersey.
Park Place? Is there a Park Place?
In Atlantic City, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. It doesn't tell you that anywhere.
Well, I guess if you were from New Jersey, you would actually know that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tom knew that.
I don't know what else did we have there. Basically, guys, you know what?
I had a kick butt delivered order.
Oh yeah, I asked Kim if we could talk about this, and I'm going to preface it before she even tells you about it with, you guys don't get super excited. I have not been doing it as long as Kim, but I've never even seen anything like this. So, but I mean, at the same time, obviously it can happen. Just don't, if you're not on delivered, obviously go get on the wait list, but don't think this is what you'll get or ever.
Yeah. So I actually thought I misread it when it came through my screen because I couldn't even believe what was coming into my screen. So first of all, I've been doing delivered for 2 years now, 3 years, something like that. And I usually see, average orders here or there. They add really good value. I'm a big fan of delivered. I basically take almost every order that comes into my phone. And at first, I didn't look at the text message that actually showed the dollar amount. It just said like the city where it was going to. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little far away, but okay, I'll take a look at it. And the payout was $572.
I want to know how you got. I mean, so now, yeah. But it was $2,800 worth of food, and I want to know how you got that. Did it fit in your car good?
It fit in my car perfectly.
Like, was it packed?
No, it could have honestly fit probably 4 more boxes in my car. It was actually 12 boxes, like the size of catering bags.
Like the big catering boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was 12 of them. They were probably, I don't know, yay high, 20 inches long. So no, it fit perfectly in my car. Yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday, to say the very least, but it took me an hour to complete and $572 later.
Not even as you just say it took me 3 hours, just an hour. It took me under an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that should be your new hourly rate.
Can you imagine if that was, I said, even if drivers, you could do like one of them a week, like we would all be set. Like, but literally I've never had an order like that in my years of doing food delivery. So thank you, Delivered. That's the only thing I can say.
Was it a company that you ever delivered to before?
No.
And
I wonder if this is
I might
like
be
a new
speaking
thing
out
for
of line,
them.
but I think Kim's orders fall in the line of mine normally. Like you would see $20 to $50 payouts, right? Is that about right?
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
the 50s, 40, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think last year at this time, I got $100 order because it was Christmas and I was it was 72 pizzas going into the Amazon warehouse. But on a regular basis, no, not even close. But I get sometimes I get 2 a day. Sometimes I get 1 a day. It just depends. I really thought it was broke.
So I do have to address this since we're on it tonight, is that so Katie Free, the cancellation rate should not be a thing. I agree with you. We are independent contractors, but we have to meet them somewhere on some things, because if we allowed like cancellation rate should not even be a thing. If you allowed that, the cost to the company does go up. They wouldn't be lying in that case like they do every day. They would actually be telling the truth. Our cost goes up when you take it, you unassign it. This person gets it, they unassign it. Or then the restaurant throws it away, has to remake it. There's so much cost being incurred that I just think that, I mean, even as an independent contractor, I don't make bids or accept bids for things outside of gig apps that I do and then not show up, or like, that's not a thing. Like, I can't go, you know what? I got this better offer. Sorry. Go do that. Because I mean, I can do it one time and I will never be asked to work for the company again. So I just wanted to point that out because I think it's important that, but yeah, Kim's payout. That's why I was trying to put it in perspective, because it's not even like all her other ones are 450.
No.
And she just got that.
No, no.
This
And I'm not
was
an Emerald driver. I am just a regular delivered driver too. So I got that. I got a comment on TikTok about that, I believe. Are you Emerald? I'm not Emerald. I'm just a regular delivered driver.
Yeah, I see the Emerald drivers now when I'm doing it, and I want to start asking them. I think I'm getting to that confidence point where I might.
I've talked to a couple in my area, and a lot of them have been doing delivered for far longer than I have. So I think a lot of it has to do with longevity, and I don't think they're ever going to come out of Emerald status for new people to come into Emerald status. So
Yeah, I mean, again, Kim and I were talking about this before the show too, that it's, you guys, if you're on delivered, you can go look at it yourself. If you're not yet, you'll see, you probably could go still look into it. It's, if you do the math, it's almost impossible to become Emerald. Like, if you're coming in now, like, it would almost be impossible, because you would need to do what Kim did, take them all. But then you also need this perfect storm. You need like everybody that is Emerald to leave. And I think that once most people get up to that level, I mean, he's not in here tonight, so let's pick on him. Tim, gig-wise, he's like a pajama Emerald shopper, probably. I don't know this. I haven't seen him in his pajamas. But like, he's reached Emerald. He does the big ones. They're $300-400. And I talk to him on the phone a lot. So like, I'll talk to him and I'll be like, oh, what time is it? And it's an hour later there than where I am. And he'll be like, oh, dude, I gotta go. I got my delivered today at 1. He says it like that. Like, I have my delivered. He has to leave his house for the one gig he's going to do. And there I am hustling everywhere going, why can't I do that? But maybe one day they will diversify this program to include many more of us. In fact, we did have wind of that, but we'll see. I guess that's a wrap for the week, you guys. I came in so out of my mind. I've just been earning and staying out later working, and even doing some Doordash and some Ubereats.
I'm going to remind, I'm going to remind everybody though, guys, there's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks until Christmas. Get your money now. Get every cent, every penny you can in these next couple of weeks, because everybody forgets how slow January and February are. So stock up. That's the only thing I can say. Get your money now.
That is
so
true.
Also, maybe start looking at things for January, February.
Yeah. That's usually when I dust off my apps that I don't normally use. I usually dust them off all then and start using apps that I don't normally use.
I bet you, here's my bet on that one. I bet Kim maybe can start doing Amazon Flex right at the new year, because there's going to be a ton of returns.
Maybe.
And I know that you're on it now. I'm on it. Somebody hit me up with, I've been on the wait list for Curry for over a year now. Well, I've been on the wait list for Amazon Flex for over 3. So you know what? Deal with it. And that's why, like, I saw other people typing that stuff too. Who cares? Get on those wait lists. Don't wait to get on the wait lists and be upset that there is a wait list. You'll be glad there is a wait list when you get on it. So don't wait, get on them. So anyway, that's a wrap for the week. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for this panel, for everybody. And until next week, be safe, earn smart, and
Kindness is always free.
good night, you guys. Hey, Tim Gigwise just showed up.
Oh, there he is.
You might want to roll that back. We just talked about you.
All right,
Lori Lightfoot.
start the show.
Why we're slapping